Whew. It is fucking hot today, dude. It's like really hot. Um. Oh shit. Yeah, another one of these live stream videos because I didn't really. I should have recorded stuff and I didn't. Hello. Hello. Um. I should have recorded more, but I really didn't because it was kind of a hassle. It was just a hassle to like get everything done and put on. I didn't want to have to, throw in the mix trying to record everything and make it look good because it didn't look good. It would probably just be about 4 hours of me like cussing at this thing and like beating stuff with a hammer because that's pretty much what it was. But now this moped is done. So let me turn the camera around real quick. You can see all the stuff that I cut out of this wiring harness. This strip right here melted. Like, they are stuck together, and I couldn't pull them apart to recrimp them, so I had to just cut it off. I cut the fuse thing off on the positive cable that goes to the battery. This was on there, but I cut it off because it blew a 15 amp fuse and I didn't have any of the other fuses from that kit. Yeah, so basically I got the light bar wired up. I would have personally liked to put it right here because it actually looks a lot better, but then it would cover up the Mop Boy sticker, and I didn't really, I can't take it off and move it lower, like it's already on here, so I just put it up there. I think it looks pretty good. It just looks like handlebars, honestly. Like, it kind of blends in. So basically, this gap that was right here, this was not a 7-inch light bar like I had ordered. This is probably like a 6-inch light bar. It looks good though, and it works now. I'm just gonna have to get a switch to splice onto this positive cable right here so that I don't have to keep touching that thing to the battery every time I turn it on, because it does spark and I don't want to blow up this battery. But got this light bar put on. Basically, my dumbass, how I cut this switch off. Alright, so this switch originally went right here, and it's supposed to power this light bar, and it had, a whole end made up for it, but I didn't do that. Instead, I used it for a kill switch. So I had just the bare wires off of the switch down there. So there was a white wire, a red wire, and a black wire. And well, my dumbass looks at that and goes, okay, so they both flow in directions. I said to myself, one is coming off of the battery, going to the battery. Maybe I'll hook them together and it will clear them. Obviously, it didn't do that. It burned that whole harness because it was essentially just shorting out the battery and not even getting up to the light. Make sure you don't cut your switches off of stuff, because I can't set that right there. If I just hadn't cut that switch off, like, I would have been fine. Like, it would have took me 10 minutes to put that light bar on. But I don't know. What are you going to do? So, got the light bar on. There is basically no fuse, no switch or anything. It all just... Let me show y'all real quick. So, basically, you have a relay here, which is grounded onto the frame. It's somewhat grounded on there. It should be good enough. It's not coming off. Yeah, so in here is supposed to be a switch, then the wires that go off to the battery, and then the wires that come up here to the light bar. But I cut the switch off. Alright. just in case any of you guys have problems like this on your own, if you ever want to bypass a switch, the black wire is always the ground. You do not touch the black wire to anything if you're bypassing a switch. You always connect the red and the white. I don't know what thought process I used to decide that hooking up the red and the black together would be the best. But yeah, just from experience, do not do that. Always touch the red and the white. Don't ever touch anything to the black. So yeah, the light bar was kind of a hassle, but not really, because it's just wiring. What was a hassle though, let me see, was this motherfucker right here. This took me 4 hours to put in. So I'm not going to take the case back off and show y'all, but basically I put it in the first time. The spring that is on those is actually extremely powerful, and I didn't have a pair of grips, so I had to try like 4 times to do it with a pair of wire crimpers. So I put that on there, tried kicking it over the first time, and the spring came off. So I put it back on again, you know, took everything back off. If you need a video on how to like put in a kickstart, 90 GT Vert, I think his name is. He's another moped YouTuber. I believe he has a Chinese scooter maybe, and I'm pretty sure he has a 2-stroke, which is pretty fast. I honestly want to get a 2-stroke really bad, but most of the 2-strokes that are for sale on Marketplace have problems and they don't run, and they've been sitting in a barn for 30 years and you have to clean out the entire fuel system. And usually parts for those, if they're Hondas, they're like really, really expensive and you can't find them. Yeah, so basically put the kickstart in again, made sure all my stuff was lined up, kicked it over, the engine started, and it was grinding on something. So I took it out again. So on the first gear that you put in, there's supposed to be a little tab sticking up. The hole that goes into is keyed. So there's a little shaft sticking up to make sure it doesn't rotate or whatever. This is a quality kickstart, I'm pretty sure, from what else I could tell about it. But the shaft literally had broken off. Oh, double chin, wow. The shaft had like broken off of the rod that goes into that hole, and it was making the whole thing stick out a little bit more, and it was grinding on the gear that's on the back of the output shaft. So fish that out of there, put everything back in again. It works now. It comes back up really easily. There's no grinding or anything. Man, I kind of want to go drive it. It's fucking hot today. But flip around, dumb cunt. So this thing's basically done now. I'm not gonna have to use the electric start, or at least I hope I don't, because from what I've understood, the kickstart on the 50 took about a year to go out. And so this one should last even longer, as long as nothing pops out of place. But if it does, I know how to put it back together and everything, so that's good. Oh yeah, I also painted this side case cover. I've done a lot to this thing I haven't recorded. Painted the exhaust. Just trying to black it out as much as possible, because I think it felt... Well, I painted the exhaust because the chrome bits on it were all rusted, and it didn't look good. So I painted that, and then I looked over here and saw that, and it was all chrome. So I just painted that black. I might have to go over it with another coat, because it is starting to chip off a little bit, but it's not a lot. I mean, it's gonna chip off. I'll just keep putting more paint on it as it goes. But yeah, kickstart is in. I got a kill switch now to where I could turn the engine off. The ignition switch still is not off, but what I think I'm gonna do, because the battery only has to power the switch now, what I think I'm gonna do, I don't know if I can actually do it or not because it might hook together or something, but I'm basically just gonna put a switch on the positive battery terminal and then another switch on this positive here, so that I can just leave the battery in it, and once I flip that switch, the battery will turn off and it won't die, meaning this thing won't be on. Every notification's coming up at once. Okay. Yeah. Oh shit. Doggo. Come here. Come here. Hey. Hey. Dumb cunt. So, definitely, after I drive it a little bit and kind of just make sure that it's not gonna, make sure it's structurally sound and everything and nothing's gonna break. Definitely more videos on that to come. As for the yellow one, I've actually painted this seat. It's painted. The issue I'm having with it, oh yeah, get some more light in here. The issue I'm having with this seat is that the black actually sticks to the yellow really well. Like, you can't see any of the yellow at all. But this white surface back here, it was all peeled up and stuff. And so there's definitely a few spots that you can still see the white. I'm just gonna have to get more paint and keep going over it, but I mean, yeah, the paint on this is not actually coming off. I swear, if y'all ever need, yeah, I know this is a mess. I need to organize this garage too. I mean, I only got it like a year until I move out. It's not like when we were living in the apartment where I was like, when we were living over there, I knew we weren't going to be there for that long, so I kind of like just didn't make myself at home at all and kept my stuff packed up because I knew we were going to move at some point. But here, I'm going to be here for probably a while, so might as well get... These shelves are actually pretty sturdy. Yeah, I don't think y'all have seen inside the new shed that much. There's definitely some spiders and stuff, but I haven't had any issues with them like crawling on me or getting into my tools or anything like that. I think most of these are just cobwebs or whatever. But there's still some major holes in here. But I mean, this is probably just made out of fucking cardboard. I swear that's made out of cardboard. There's no way that's wood. So, the little holes in the sides, the hole in the door right there, and then there's a hole under here. But I'm not that worried about it, honestly. Can you see it? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so definitely more videos to come now that the moped is done. It has all the lights now. I don't have to worry about me getting stranded somewhere because the battery died. Because now I don't need the battery to start it, really. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Later, y'all.